Getting mine, ain't no rush. This perfection coming up. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In the end, it's gonna be us. Don't need a spotlight on this grind. I run it up, been the cut. Gotta eat, skip the sleep. Till the work done, I be up. I'm getting mine, ain't no rush. This perfection coming up. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In the end, it's gonna be us.
Man, Clevelnd home to be professional. Showtime if you nasty. Welcome back to the Crosscast. I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Gold Rose for here with me last week. Definitely had fun with that. Definitely had some good conversation on camera, off camera. It's always fun, when you actually talk to the person that you're dealing with. Like, you actually can have a good conversation with them. So, shout out to her. This week, man. So, it was something I was really looking forward to seeing this week. For those of you that are familiar, versus battles. Pretty much they put two artists or two groups up against each other. They just kind of shoot off their catalog, see who's got the better hits. This week was one that was like, it was big to me because like my teenage years and stuff, it was two groups that I listened to a whole lot. You had Dipset, you had the Locks. It was great to me. It wasn't so great for Dipset. And something happened in that thing that I actually had spoke on last week when I was talking with Gold Rose, where I was saying in a good performance what I looked for. And I like when, the artist drops those they drop the vocals out the track and they actually rap their own lyrics or sing their own song. I don't want to hear you sing over a track. It's kind of why I came to see you, or that's why I want to see you live, because I want to see you do it live. And it was just funny that came full circle real quick. So when I'm watching the versus battle, Jadakiss, which is a member of the Locks, they squad, the Locks, drop the vocals, they rapping, they going to town. Dipset, they're my guys. They're my guys. When I was younger, that's the squad, man. That was my guys. Real swaggy cats, man. They didn't show up there to do the same thing that Locks showed up to do, and Locks just controlled the energy. Their performance was better. Their performance was way better. And it's funny because, Dipset, they got more hit songs, but the Locks, they came with that energy. That performance was everything. They songs felt better. They had better song selection too. But long story short, the team that you thought might have lost manhandled the other team. they manhandled my guys. But it was just funny to look at them and watch both teams, which kind of brings me on this week's topic. I kind of want to piggyback off of what I did 2 weeks ago, when I was talking about consistency. You do something consistently till it becomes a habit. Well, when you have a bunch of habits, when you kind of stick all your habits together, that becomes a routine. And when I was looking at this versus battle, you can see the Locks, Jadakiss specifically, he routinely raps. Because he wasn't out of breath. He could do that shit. He was doing it. You could tell that's part of his routine. He's not a retired rapper. You could tell he actively raps. He still was in the groove. He's ready for it. And if he ain't been ready all this time up until now, actually I know he was because I saw him in another versus battle, but you can tell that's part of his routine. That's something he does. He's in shape for it. He's ready for it. Whereas, you got guys at Dipset, you can tell they're retired rappers. they kind of, it's almost like they showed up for a listening party. And Locke showed up to put on a performance. So the energy was just crazy. It was nice for both sides, but the Locks definitely controlled the tempo. And it was because they were better prepared. You could tell that this is still part of their routine. And really, that's I want to touch on routines, man, because just like your habits, routine is just like the an evolved form of habits. So it's all of your habits make your routine. Your routine is it's gonna keep you focused. It keeps you focused. It keeps you driving in whatever direction it is that you're going. You can have a terrible routine where your routine consists of chilling. That's chilling is not a bad thing. Like everybody needs time to relax. You need that. It's good to incorporate that in your life. But now, too much of anything is bad. That's why it's too much. If it's enough, it's enough. If it's too much, that means it's more than it needs to be. So you need to be careful with your routines. And okay, I'll use me as an example. Me, I used to be an avid drinker, alcoholic. That was part of my routine. My routine was drinking. So for me to stop drinking, I had to kind of reprogram myself. I had to first get consistent with doing something else, turn that into a habit, and then change my routine. My daily routine is different now, and I actually, because I do participate in the group, where we talk about this shit, and I kind of brought it up last week. Like I was feeling a little off, and I do a lot of self-reflecting, meditating during the day. On most days, well, every day I do a little bit of it. Just some days I do more than others. I was pretty much like trying to figure out like why do I feel off. So I'm just kind of reflecting on like, okay, well, what's been going on? What am I doing? And I noticed like I kind of had thrown my routine off like last week. I still was doing things that I do, but I wasn't doing it exactly as much as I should or as I feel comfortable with, or I wasn't doing things the same. I was doing more chilling the last week. Like, okay, I knew I was going to pod on a different day because I knew I had a guest coming. So as opposed to recording on a Monday or Tuesday, I knew I was going to record on a Wednesday. So those other 2 days, I was kind of, I don't know, I just was on some chill shit. But I didn't really need to be chilling. That I wasn't tired. So where it's like, okay, you need this time to regroup. I was just on some lazy shit. I was slacking with my gym shit. I probably went like once or twice last week, where I'm usually a 4 times, 3 if I'm busy. If I'm busy, I will only go 3 times. But usually I'm 4 or 5 times a week. So that, and then like the times that I did go last week, I didn't do my normal routine. I was just kind of getting out of my funk. I was getting in a funk. I was trying to get myself in a funk, not getting out of my funk. I was getting out of my hookup though. So I had to reset, and get back to my routine. And now this week, I'm feeling better, because I'm back on my routine. One thing I did change though, I did stick to that change pod date. That's why, y'all getting this a day later than you would normally get it. But your routine, it's good to find a routine that is productive for you and stick to it. Even now, I know life happens. Life is going to happen. And things are going to change sometimes. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do exactly what it is you normally do. But just make sure you get back to it. Your routine is pretty much that's your goal. That's your plan. That's your roadmap to wherever you're going. Your routine is it. That's what's going to get you to wherever you're going. So if your routine is not conducive to where you want to be in life, you're not gonna get there. Like you can't sleep all day and expect to get anything done. Or if you don't make time to say you have a business idea and you want to pursue that. How you going to pursue that if you don't make time for that? Like I hear people say stuff all the time, like they go to work and everything, and they like, oh, I'm tired of working for such and such. And it's like, well, what are you doing? What's in your routine? If your routine is only going to work, coming home, and chilling, why are you telling me you don't want to work there? Everything you're doing is telling me that's what you want to do because that's all you're doing. Now, I do understand that, you need time. You need time to do stuff. I get it. So you have to make time. That means you have to pick a different job that can open up some time for you to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Then that's what you got to do. I've said this before, you got to make time, man. Make time, don't make excuses. Make time. That's something that I feel comfortable saying to somebody because shit, I go through it. I go through it. Like, hell, I'm the same guy that's like, okay, I've mentioned before that I've been in some legal trouble. My license has been suspended for the last 3 years, So I could be like, hey, I can't go work over there or I can't go to the gym because I can't get around. No, I can pay for a ride. I can jump on a bus. I can walk. Whatever it is I got to do to get done what I need to get done. If I got to sacrifice a couple hours of sleep to do something, then that's what I got to do. If I'm going to sit here and say that this is what I really want to do, how am I going to say that's what I really want to do? And I'm not making it part of my daily routine or making it part of my weekly routine to incorporate that, Like even right now, okay, today, I was supposed to make this pod. Okay, I'm podding at night right now. Normally I do this during the daytime, but I did it at night today. Why? Because, well, one, my silly ass didn't have a memory card for my camera. So I had to go get that. But in the midst of getting that, okay, I link up with my bro and everything. We talking. We end up speaking to this young lady that actually lives over by him, and we kind of hit off on a nice conversation where we're all kind of just going back and forth, kicking our shit. It was insightful conversation. So I was intrigued. So I wanted to have that conversation. But at the same time, I knew what I had to do. Now that leaves me with a decision. Do I want to disrupt my routine and not make the pod today? Maybe try to shoot for it tomorrow. I know I got shit to do tomorrow. I had to make time for it. So like right now, this would have been my chill and relax time. Well, now I got to do this because I broke the routine a little bit, but I'm still kind of sticking to it. Getting it done on this day is what I normally do, so I got to do that. Or else I'm going to be feeling weird tomorrow. I'm either going to be trying to fit too much in or just not do it at all this week. And then I'm going to feel a way about that. And then it might take me a day or two to realize why I'm feeling off. It's because I know I put some shit off that I thought was important. So you really want to be careful with these routines and pick and set it up. I mean, even if you gotta write it down, I got a fucking dry erase board. It's a big one, and it's in my kitchen, and I got little bullet points on there on shit that I should do each day. I got drink water on there. Like got drink water as part of my routine. Like that's something that, hell, I like water. It's not that I don't like it, but it's like if I'm not being conscious of it, I will not drink enough water. So whatever you need to do to help those habits help build those habits and then help those habits become part of your routine, that's what you need to do. A little note somewhere that you're going to walk past every day. That little thing, it may seem like something stupid to do until you do it and it works. I'm walking to the bathroom and I say, oh, that thing say drink water. Oh, how much water did I drink today? Oh, let me grab some more. Or I'm coming in the house. Oh, hey, yeah, I'm supposed to drink some water. That little thing, like that's something that some people may be like, that's stupid. Why you don't drink water? Man, fuck you. this. I'm just using me as an example. Whatever it is for you that you may need to make a note of, do that. You know, or even say you want to get something started, do that. Maybe write yourself out a note. Okay, write at least a part of my business plan, you know, or whatever it is, man. Get creative with it, man. Like our society is set up to kind of keep you working. You know, like it's people out here with dreams just like you. You know, and part of their dream might include you working in their shop or working in their store or making their part. If that's not your dream, how you gonna let you gonna let them impose their will on you? You know, yeah, it's paying your bills, so it's not like they doing you wrong. They just like shit. I mean, if you gonna do it, I need it done. I understand it. You know, I hear people complain about jobs and everything all the time. Shit, you might catch me complaining about working, but I also understand. It's like, well, if you're not going to change it, they got a job for you out there. It's a job for you. All you got to do is show up. You know, and routines, people, routines, man. Make sure your routine is conducive to whatever it is that you want to get done. Like writing things down is definitely very important, man. Like it's very helpful, should I say? It's super duper helpful, and when you write stuff down, it kind of brings it to life. Cause now there's like you can physically see it. You know, it's an energy transfer thing. You know, it seems like something little minuscule, but really it kind of gives it life. You know, you're bringing it to the physical world by writing it down, and the next step is getting it off the paper and into something else physical, more physical than the paper. Like the paper is right there. Whatever you wrote it on, it's there. It's physical. But now it's like put it in motion. You know, so if you got a good idea or something that you want to be doing or something you need to focus on and you just can't seem to write it down and put it somewhere where you can't help but see it. Hell, you could put a damn sticky note on your wall. Put it on your alarm clock. Put it right by where you charge your phone at night. So when you wake up, you roll over and see it. When you look at the time for the phone, you see that damn note. Eventually it's going to bother you. And you're going to be like, man, why is this here? You can do something about it. You can either throw it away or do whatever the hell it says to do and get it over with. But I want to jump back to that verses for a minute, man. It was so great to me, man. It was great to me, man. You know, when you look at just the performance aspect of it, like me, I've told y'all, I definitely am a fan of music. Especially like performances. Like a live performer is the shit to me. If you can like perform live, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Cause every artist can't do that. And I think that's what separates a good artist from a great artist, or hell, a bad artist from a great artist. You know, your ability to not only compose it, but then come and perform it. I feel like live performances can be better than the studio recordings if you're a good performer. You know, because it's like it's real. I can feel you in that moment. Whereas on a studio recording, I got the engineer's touch on it. I got everybody's parts of it. You know. They can tweak your sound and shit, have you sounding like something you can't even emulate in real life without them. You know, it's a lot to it. So when I see someone just come out and they can go and they just rapping or singing, whatever they doing, that's just so amazing to me. Like, that's just so much greater to me. Everybody doesn't require that. I don't know what the hell y'all be watching. I don't know if you can be okay with a performer that's not performing. I don't understand it, but to each his own, I guess. It's stupid, but yeah, just watching them do that, it was real nostalgic for me. That's why I'm so stuck on it. Like, it was real nostalgic for me, man. I definitely had fun watching it. With everything being back open outside, it's hard for me to want to watch a versus battle. So when I heard that one, I'm like, I gotta check this out. Because, I mean, shit, I'm looking at it, my way of looking at it, I'm looking at it on IG on the phone. I can't sit there and watch a phone all day. It's not my sauce. I see people, they're like, oh yeah, you can get movies on your phone. I'm like, that's crazy. Why would I want to stare at my phone and watch a movie? But I digress. Just watching them, and then like okay, for those who don't know, Locks, real gritty street shit. Dipset, street shit, but a little more swaggy and colorful, So of course they up there on the stage. They got chippy. It was hostile a little bit. It was interesting, man. It was interesting. But the biggest takeaway I saw from it was at the end. Where every day was kind of hot. They was exchanging insults. They talking they shit. But at the end, they all shook hands, hugged. They showed each other love, and then they actually held. One of them said something about them going on tour together. Like, I like that they didn't I like that they were competitive in the moment, but they didn't let the moment escalate to somewhere outside of the stage. They had their moment where they was hot, and they was, you on the opposite team. You the competition. It was heated competition, but at the end they left it where it was at. And then it's like, okay, now we on to what's next. Which I don't mind that. If you're gonna do your thing, like, competition is competition. I'm a competitor. So when it comes to competition, no, I'm not trying to be your best friend in the middle of the competition. But once it's over, I can be a good sport. Especially if we win at it. I can respect a good challenge. But in the middle of it, yeah, it's heated. It's competition. Like, some people is like, they real friendly in the midst of it. I'm not that guy. I don't knock that style, but that's not me. When it's competition time, it's competition time. Let's go. But I like how they did that. I like that they brung it. They brung the competition, and then they were able to. Because it was some moments in there where I'm like, shit, I think it's about to be a fight. But they left the competition. Once the competition was over, they left it there, went on and did their thing. So, shout out to all parties involved with that. That was definitely a good thing to watch. It was a good feeling. It was a good vibe. It was nice for me. Speaking of music, my Make Music Great Again pick for this week, I'm going with Sir. Sir, R&B artist, signed to TD. He out of California. I like him because you get some versatility there. You get your singing, but he do his street stuff. He levels out. There's nice balance there. He'll talk about some street aspects, but he's not glorifying anything that I don't approve of. Not that my approval matters to these artists, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But I like what he does. Cause me, okay, I'm a firm believer. Like I'm not too fond of the super duper street rap. Not no more. When I was younger, yeah, I was into that. But the older I get, the more conscious you get of the part that you play in society and the things you do. I just can't get behind it the same way. Not to say I don't listen to any of it at all, because like I said, I do. But I don't know. I just can't. I can't champion that like I used to, because I know it's destructive. I know it's destructive, and I know me not championing it is not going to get rid of it. I don't think it's ever going to stop. Like I don't think it's ever going to stop. But me knowing it's not going to stop, I get to choose which part I want to play in the equation. What's going on outside of here, it's going to keep going on. That's just how life is. But the things that I touch, I get to pick what I want to put out, or how I want to influence things. So that's not what I'm going to champion and push out there, because everybody can't differentiate from music from real life like I can. And shit, there's some people that's really living some of the crazy shit they rapping, and best of luck to you. Hey, and even that ties into routine. When you making your music, I like music that kind of fits my routine. Something that I can relate to, something that's relevant in my world, in my life. So people need to, I guess, I'm not even gonna say people, I'm gonna say me. I need to always make sure that my routine is conducive to what I'm trying to accomplish. And I would recommend everyone else do the same. And speaking of routine, the book, I'm still not done with it, but I have been reading it. I did kind of fall off of the everyday thing. So what I'm going to do here, once I get done with this, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to read a couple of chapters so I can catch up to be the equivalent of that chapter a day. I enjoy it when I do get things done. I enjoy it when I feel accomplished when I set new things that I want to add into my routine. I try to make new habits to make part of my routine, and I've been sticking to it decent. But there have been days where I didn't do it, and then I try to just make it up. So I got about 2 chapters to make up for 2 days that I skipped between it will be 2 weeks since I mentioned it. So between then and now, there's been 2 days that I haven't accounted for. So I'm going to account for those tonight, and I'll be back on track. Let's see, did I cover everything that I needed to cover? For the most part, yeah. Oh, shout out to the Lakers and LeBron, man. I see y'all got Russell Westbrook. That's gonna be crazy. They adding all kind of people. They got Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's gonna be a ring for them. That's gonna be a hard team to score on. Like, I don't know, but everybody's old on that team. I don't think they're that old. I mean, basketball old, not real life old, but sports, anything over 30 sports wise is like, yeah, he's getting close to retirement. It's gotta be great to retire at 30 something. Like, oh, I'm filthy rich. But I digress. Yeah, man. So people just try to keep those habits. Start with doing something, make it something that you do consistently, turn things into habits, and make those habits part of your routine. Rather it be exercising, eating healthier, working on a business, even just writing out a business plan, writing down ideas, drawing if that's what you're into. Whatever it is that you're into, incorporate that into your daily life or weekly life, or accordingly. There's some things that you may not, it may not require you to do something every day, like directly related to it. But I really can't think of nothing that you can't do something every day to at least prepare for it. Like even with the pod here, I do this once a week, but all through the week I could be gathering information to present. And like I notice when I do take more time to gather information to present, I'm usually more comfortable sitting here, and when I come shoot it, I can flow with the conversation smoother. And then I say conversation like somebody's talking back to me. Like, nah, it's just me. like I don't know. I don't know what people think when they see like other, like me or other potters that, or other people with web shows or whatever, that sit in front of the camera and talk. This ain't really as easy as I originally thought it would be. Like I don't know, man. It takes a certain level of what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. Oh well, forget it. Just, I don't know, maybe self-centeredness even, or maybe arrogance, maybe arrogance, to just be like, hey, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk to myself, and somebody's gonna watch this, and somebody's gonna listen to this. I don't think I'm arrogant, but I don't know. I think takes a little bit of ego and maybe thinking highly of yourself. Because there's definitely some times where I'm like, man, do I need to go do this week? But I just make myself do it. But and then I'll be happy when I'm done. Like, yeah, I did that. It's definitely a courageous act to do it by yourself. It was easier to flow with another person, but I don't really care to depend on people, especially not at this stage in my life. At this stage in my life, it's like I'm really getting to know me, and that's actually part of my routine. I will purposely sit down and self-examine. I do it daily. That's I've made that part of my daily routine. Like I look at in the morning, I'm looking like, okay, what do I want to do today? What do I want to accomplish today? What's my plan for the day? What do I need to get done? How do I feel about getting it done? How do I plan on feeling while I'm doing it? Just self-analyzing. And then at the end of the day, I look back on the whole day. Like, what did I do? Did I do things that I feel ashamed of? Do I do things that I feel like I shouldn't have done? Do I do things I feel like I should do more of? Just really getting self-aware. I've turned that into part of my routine, and I feel like it helps me a lot. There's a lot of people that are not self-aware. Self-awareness is it's crazy that people don't have it. Like, I guess I could see it, like, if you're drunk or something, like, yeah, your self-awareness might go out the window. But yeah, it's work on that. If you are one of those people who are not self-aware, it's probably a good thing to know who you are and know what you're capable of. And that way, if there's something wrong, you can fix it. You can't fix something about yourself if you never took the time to actually acknowledge it. Somebody can tell you you're selfish, but if you never sat down and looked at why they said that, you could be like, man, that motherfucker tripping. And what if they not tripping? What if you really are selfish? I'm not saying worry about what other people think, but just being self-aware, man. It's something you probably heard me say before, and you'll probably hear me say again, because every day I become more self-aware. On the flip side, when you get, the more self-aware you get, the less shit you're willing to deal with from other people. I notice my threshold for nonsense is definitely going down, because I don't feel like I deserve it, because I'm not presenting it. So just part of my daily routine of just self-analyzing, meditating, things like that, has actually improved my sense of self-worth. Because I'm actually paying attention to the things that I'm doing. I'm not just kind of rolling through life. Whatever happens, happens, and hey, well, if I'm alright, I'm alright. Nah, like I want to make sure I'm okay with the things that I do, and I don't want to live with regret. Rather it be not taking an opportunity or doing somebody wrong or whatever. I like to know me. And the more that I get to know me, I notice the happier I'm feeling. And also, when things do ruffle my feathers, or when things do make me uneasy, I notice it a lot faster. And the speed that I'm willing to go at to fix it has increased. Like, when something's not right with me, I need to fix it right then and there. Like, as soon as I notice it and I can pinpoint what it is, I want to fix it. And if something that's wrong with me is because of someone else, get away from me. Or I'm going to get away from you, or we can have a conversation. Now, if you're important enough to me, we can have a conversation and see if we can fix it. If you're not that important, I'm not going to deal with you. But, just life. Make sure, routines can be anything, rather it be working out or actually going and getting some work, like going and getting a job, just whatever it is, man. Make sure you build a routine on purpose. Don't build a routine just because of whatever's going on, like, oh, this is what I just so happen to do every day, because then you're letting the world pick your routine, because you're going to have a routine regardless if you pick it or not. You're going to have one. That's just how it is. Rather your routine just be running around doing nothing all day, looking for the next fun thing to do. That could be your routine. I don't know if that's a healthy one. That's probably a good routine for a child. But you need to be productive. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, you gonna work for something, one way or another. You gonna earn something, one way or another. So I would advise you do it on purpose, and don't let someone else pick for you, because they will pick it for you. Rather it be the police, you going to jail because you're doing a bunch of shit that's illegal or whatever the fuck, or a job picking it for you because you haven't taken the time to figure out how to transition into what you really want to do. So you just kind of get stuck at a job that's paying the bills that you don't really care to be doing. It's one thing if you like your job. If you like it, then cool. Everybody's not the type to own a business. Like, everybody don't want that responsibility. And I can understand why. That's a lot of responsibility. And then all your employees, it's your responsibility to keep this place running so that these people can go feed their families. Everybody don't want that responsibility. It's not for everybody. But if you got a job you like and you don't have to be the boss of it, cool. But routine, people. Pay attention to what your routine is. If you don't know what it is, figure it out. Look at it. Just analyze the day. What do I normally do every day? If somebody had to depend on one thing that I was doing a day, what would it be? And then boom, okay, that's part of your routine. Now, just going from there. What is your most likely scenario every day? You can pick out your routine and then make adjustments to, okay, if I want to be here, what could I do every day to get to this? Make sure your routine coincides with your goal. And you can't help but get there. You can't help but get there. There's no way you can't get there if that's where you're walking. If you're walking towards the lake, how will you not walk into the lake? You know, it would have to take something crazy to turn you around or turn you the other way. And most likely that's not going to happen. And if that does happen, you just turn back around and keep going back. You know, eventually you're going to get there. You don't have a choice. If you're going in that direction, you're going to get in that direction. So I ain't going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It's your man Clevelnd. Clevelnd Homes if you're professional. Showtime if you're nasty. Thank you for watching the Crosscast. See y'all again next week.